Hello, everybody. Someone referred to these as trademark thing I've got going on here. It's not. It really is double. It's really what I call poor man's bifocals. I could buy bifocals where the top is far-sighted and the bottom is nearsighted, and eliminate this. And I could also get LASIK surgery and just fix my eyes, which most people get. A lot of people get done at a certain point of their life. Or I could get contacts, none of which has ever appealed to me enough to do it. So I just keep reverting to that. So I just keep reverting to this. I mean, I figure it doesn't matter. It is interesting, though. It reminded me of a story. Back when I lived in Texas in the late 80s, there was this guy, this preacher guy, who would get on TV. Now, I'm not religious. I'm virtually atheist. I'm like agnostic/atheist. And pretty much science down the line. It is what it is, my channel. I'm not too much into all that. But I did watch this preacher. However, I do talk to myself quite often, and some people might think I'm praying. Maybe I am in my own way. I mull things over with the I and I, right? Bob Dylan, I and I. Remember that song? A lot of you probably don't want to. That's when he was going through his religious phase. But there is that sense within us, right, of I and I, or I and, there's like two of us, right, within ourselves, right? You talk to yourself, there's that kind of, there's your conscience, I guess people call it. Okay, today what we're doing is we're discussing, but I didn't tell you about this preacher. So there's this preacher in Texas. He would come on, he's probably in his 60s, around my age, probably early 60s, late 50s, so it was hard to tell. He had very long white hair, kind of like a hippie, and he would wear like his shirt's kind of open, but he would wear like a Western shirt, and he would sit and look like his living room, and he would preach, and he had, he was on TV, and he would have like a 3-hour show every Sunday or something. And I would watch it because all the guy would do, it was amazing. He looked like he was doing quite well. He was constantly had this thing rolling on the camera, talking, kind of like subscribe, which I need to start putting a subscribe button on here and get some subscriptions. The people who have subscribed, I really appreciate it, but I need to start getting out there too. My channel's called It Is What It Is. It's not called the Fenn Treasure Hunt. So this preacher, he would just sit there and he would always put on his double glasses. And I always remember that too. So I don't know if it was for him a trademark. It certainly isn't for me. It's just something I do so I can read. But if it was for him, it was an interesting effect but you knew him anyway because of the bright white hair and real long, and I mean he looked like and he had the craziest theories on the Bible. He would read the Bible, and I don't know who his followers were. He would stick straight to the Bible to the extent that I know the Bible, because when I was a kid I did read it and stuff, and I went to church up until I was 12. I was an altar boy and everything, But then he would kind of pull this stuff out of his butt and kind of get into this far out stuff. It wasn't Ancient Aliens, but it was, and this is Texas in the 80s, and he must have had this huge following. And I'm telling you, that donation thing was always rolling. And this guy, on one show, he just gets up and he goes, follow me with the cameras. And they go out and he just starts showing everyone his horses and stuff, Hey, Bill, how are you, honey? I didn't know you're behind the TV set. Do you want to say hi to the camera? One of you guys is always popping up. Here's Belle. She won't like it. You don't even know there's a camera. Killer Queen Belle. Belle killed a bird the other day, and I'm still not real happy about that. But she doesn't know. Ooh, careful, honey. Don't knock the coffee over. She doesn't know any better. But yeah, she brought a bird in, and I literally held it in my hands, and it puffed out a couple of breaths, and it was gone. And then when I rolled it a little to check out for wounds, so it was a lot of blood, so there was a wound. But this little girl, she doesn't know any better. I do everything I can to keep the feeder safe. I put pots around it. I put a grill under it. I do all these things so that the kitties can't get to those birds. I know. But every once in a while, the dumb one comes along. I guess it's Darwin's law, you know, but it's still sad when it happens. All right, today the subject is I think today we have Tsavo Park in Kenya behind us. It's an elephant reserve. It's in East Kenya. And lovely to see these kind of places for animals in Africa that are being poached. It's another thing I should be doing videos on is animal preservation around the world. Okay, today we have a suggestion from a viewer, Carly Perales, or Perales, or Perales, or Carly, whatever. And she has asked that we do word of the day. Whenever I say the word of the day is, there has to be a reverberation. Has to be. But otherwise there isn't, because it would get nauseating and boring. People would hate it. So today, well, that's redundant. Today, by viewer request, the word of the day is clues. So, we're looking at clues with the Forrest Fenn Treasure Hunt. Clues that have come up in a search of both video and interviews with Forrest Fenn. Wow. Fit it on the paper. I've made it very small. And this word that Carly suggested is, as you can imagine, huge. I mean, there were so many clues. I'm real tired. I don't know why I'm so tired. I'm tired lately. I guess it's the weather, because it's real hot here in the Carolinas. It's in the 90s, very humid. And it seems to affect the cats, too. They seem to just be ready to just conk out all day long. There's something about the weather that really affects you, you know? Affects me. Sometimes they get a little noisy back there, don't they? You guys want to keep it down? Apparently not. Are you trying to tell me something? I guess I'll keep my opinions to myself. The thing with the clues is, there are 9 clues. I'll tell you one thing I noticed the more I read about the treasure and Fenn and do word of the day and read blogs. And, I'd like to say something else. As an old person, as an official member of the senior community that gets senior benefits, and I'm not able to get Medicare yet, but I'm working on it. But as someone who, you know, a lot of senior benefits kick in when you're like 55. And, you know, some people go, oh my God, I'm at the age where I get 10% off this or 10% off that. And I was so embarrassed because I was at a restaurant and the lady said, oh, we have a 10% discount on your meal. Do you qualify? And she, oh my God, she was so embarrassed. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I love all that stuff. The minute I hit 50, I was able to get, what was it? Was it 50? Well, definitely 55. A couple of things kicked in. Take them. Are you kidding? I don't turn anything down. Why would you? It's stupid. If you can get 10% off a meal and you're 55 because you're 55 or older, yeah, hell yeah, I'm 55 or older. I got that, and I got the ID if you want to see it and take it off. You're silly to. I mean, who cares? Okay, that goes to this thing I was going to say.